So here's the blasted frame. I had to do a little bit more hole filling, which I expected. I knew I wasn't completely done, but I wanted to get this thing blasted and I could continue on. I also welded the tops of these. I also welded the bottoms on each side of all the body mounts, just in case that rivet came a little loose or something. I could make sure that's not going to go anywhere. The other thing I did, besides fill those holes, is I put in nuts where I needed them. So I put these nuts in here and I welded them in. What I did is I took a tapered type of screw like this and I threaded them in here tight, screwed the nut on there. This helps center it in that hole, and then I just welded it. That way, like I said, that nut is a little more centered inside the hole. You can see on this one, see how it's more centered in the hole. So that's how I did that. I just kind of got those nuts welded in there. As you can see over here, you can see there's, you know, a nut welded up in here, here, here. So wherever I needed something to attach to, like this is the fender support for the rear section of the front fender. That's what this bolt's for, and then there's one underneath, a nut underneath there too. So then we come back here to the back, and in the back here I did the same thing. I welded up the body mounts there, and here, and I also did it all up underneath. So then I also welded up more nuts back here. This is for the license plate bracket here. I did it on the other side too, because I wanted to make sure that I had two taillights, and I know they make that kind of stuff now. The other thing I did is I cut out that cross member that had the hole in it, and so that's gone. So I cut that cross member out, filled the holes, welded them up. Then is what I did is there was a spot here that's, the frame is bent up here on each side purposely. That I think was for some clearance for the engine. There was an engine mount block here and stuff like that. I don't know if it was for the transmission or whatever it was, but I decided I was just going to flatten it out. If I need to make changes, I can, but considering it's going to be a completely different drive line, I don't see where this is going to be an issue. So that's the blasted frame and what I did to it. Some people might ask how I would have gotten, you know, the rivet heads off. Is what I did was I took my cutoff wheel and I actually cut the heads off. Then I ground them off. Now, if you're lucky, you can put a punch in and punch it through, but I wasn't lucky. So those things were stuck in there really well. Some of them I actually had to drill out. So anyway, this is the frame blasted. Next step, primer sealer.